GM, everybody. This is my first time being on the stage alone. I hope everyone's having a good morning or night. Yeah, I think straight into the DAO hour. Yeah, Choina. We can get down to business right away. And I am prepared for the DAO hour. There are some people who... Oh yeah, okay, so I think I see everyone who is relevant at first for the DAO. Oh, everyone's sick. That's like 3 people sick right now. That's okay. Can you hear me? Oh no, no one can hear me. Wait a sec. How about now? Can you guys hear me now? Okay, cool. Sorry about that. I guess I sometimes have to switch my mic over. I have to do that every time, I think. But yeah, good morning or night to everyone. My first time being on the stage by myself, but I'm sure it'll be fine. And yes, I think straight into the DAO hour. Sucks that 3 people are sick. I'm sorry to hear that. Hope you guys feel better. At least 3. There might be more. Yeah, the flu season this year is awful. Anyway, yeah, let's get down to business. We can jump right in. I think I see everyone relevant to this call today in the audience. And yeah. So we'll start with the active proposal. There's one active proposal right now. It is reducing wallet fragmentation for better DAO operations. There it is, the link. And it started January 14th and goes to the 28th, so we're right in the middle of that voting period. 92.6 have voted for yes, and the quorum has reached 66.1%. So not quite there yet, but there's still plenty of time. There's another week. Codadan said they made good progress on the mobile reckless beta. That's awesome. Sweet. Anyways, active discussion. I have a few topics ready to go. I wanted to start today to kick off the DAO call with the Gotchi Greetoors presentation. If Mr. Seb is here, would you like to raise your hand? Okay. You have been invited. Welcome! And welcome, Musashi.
GM.
GM.
So yeah, it's in order to renew the Gotchi Greetoors. So for those that are not familiar with the Gotchi Greetoors, so we are mostly the marketing aspect of the DAO. So we are presenting Aavegotchi to events, so IRL events, so EVE Denver, HCC, EVE Global last year also. So a lot of events. And so we are trying to renew it again for another year.
Okay, so I see that you have already drafted your proposal. Do you want to talk a bit about what summarize what the proposal is for those who might not have read it yet?
Yeah, sure. So it's in order to, like last year, to ask 100k minus, it's a good point from Maxi Coutron, minus the current treasury we still have from last year. So I think it's 14K. And with this money, we'll do presents IRL to events. And we'll work also on missing tasks we didn't complete last year because of the reducing of the team, essentially, and lack of time to work on the merchandising site with Pixelcraft, to add an artist aspect, to engage artists from the DAO, to give them some profit, some shareable profit from the selling of the merch. And I think that's all. And badges, yeah, we wanted to do also some badges just to make Gotchi Greetoors, all the Gotchi Greetoors that help us on site when we do events, to have badges on their profile. So mostly this is it.
Okay, you mentioned artists. Do you have examples?
Yeah, just in order to, there will be some votes and each artist can propose what they want and it will be, I don't know, for example, a shirt or a mug or anything. And the idea is to, from the profit, to reverse 70% to the artist, 25 to the DAO, and 5 to PC for the license IP usage. So it's really to engage people and to make more the community participating to DAO merch, let's say, and DAO presence because we'll use it, we'll sell it.
Okay, awesome. And just like a rundown of what you usually, can I have like a rundown of what you usually do at the events? I know that I was looking at the forum earlier and people were asking about more specifics about what you guys do. Like what does a typical day on site look like for a Gotchi greeter?
Yeah, so basically, when we're on site, it's mostly there's two kind of events. The events where we have a booth, so we are here to welcome people, to explain them Aavegotchi for those that are not aware what is Aavegotchi. And after it's to make people play Aavegotchi, to share Aavegotchi also on X or other networks, and to discuss with people. Mostly it's discussing and trying to find some contacts, some partnerships, some people that are key and can help us to promote Aavegotchi. So it's to onboard people, to make them aware of Aavegotchi, and to continue Aavegotchi presence.
Okay, awesome. How many successful connections have you guys made in person, would you say?
It's a good question because each time we made in a day maybe 20, 50 people per event, and after it's people that are maybe coming to the Discord or some contacts that are more technical, so we just gave the contact to PC because sometimes it's for infra or for security topic or more B2B aspect. I think at the last event there was one key contact, was the base Latam guy. I know that Nadiel and Xibot were discussing a lot with him, so maybe we'll work with him to do something in Latam.
Yeah, do you guys do like follow-ups afterwards after the events?
Mostly it's just after the event, it's mostly just a summary and to discuss a bit, but yeah, we don't have a follow-up after that to connect to people. It's true.
Okay. Um, I don't think I have any more questions. Let me look at the chat. Musashi says, depends on what you mean by contacts and partnerships is what Seb is speaking to. Okay. Did you want to clarify a little bit more about what you mean by that, Musashi?
Sure. I just mean we make a lot more connections besides partnerships. Um, we tend to be kind of the talk of the town at a lot of our events, uh, mostly due to our branding, which is awesome. Everyone loves our merch, loves our sweaters and things like that. And also we bring in quite a few DAO members each time. I'm happy to see people buying Aavegotchis, getting ghosts, joining the DAO at every event, and you know the amount of person-to-person contacts that we actually make is in the thousands.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay, so then yeah, if anyone has any questions about this, here's the link there. To summarize, just like quickly, for the year of 2026, that's what this proposal is for. $100,000 split between mostly travel, lodging, and events, 20 to 30% for each of those, and then $1,000 in quarterly salaries for the 3 leads. And yeah, if anyone wants to talk about that in that thread, you are welcome to go there. And yeah.
I'd like to add one thing or a couple things to this. Just that in that discussion, I'd love to hear more about what the DAO wants to do as a specific engagement type of thing that we catch metrics on. We always try to do what the DAO would prefer doing, uh, but something that kind of pulls people in and something that we can do to um, have good follow up on. That's another thing that I want to touch on is I'd like to see us do better follow up in this coming year and kind of have more of a push on that. I know a lot of times we make so many connections, so many contacts, and after the fact, when everybody goes home and decompresses, they kind of forget about that list of people that we could really engage more on. So I'd like to see us doing more of that.
Yeah, I know we have some skeptics who want to see definitely some new things happening that you guys would do. I know someone mentioned a game jam, and I don't know if someone else said that you might not need to be in person to host a game jam, but there are other kind of cool events that you might like want to do. Like, what would make it different this year than as compared to the other years?
Yeah, I think Game Jam is a really cool idea, but only fits with certain events. It's uh, going to be a little bit difficult to get people to dedicate their entire event weekend to sitting down and coding when they basically have to give up the entire conference. Um, but some events really make sense. Like ETH Denver is a good example of that because it is the largest Web3 hackathon we have in the world. And that is what a lot of people are doing. They are foregoing the side events and all the speakers and all of that to code the entire time. I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I would like to see some more examples of what other things that we could do differently that the greeters could do. If anyone has any ideas, you can go into that thread. Oh, Nestor wants to come onto the stage.
Hi there. Hi, Musashi.
GM.
Sepp. Hi. Hi, GM. GM to all. Hello. Yes, I have one question. I think basics and very easy rule, and I know Musashi once referred to a great site. I on it about DAO info. Just can't find anymore. So much. I would very much like a for software and we come together and select
We didn't quite catch that. You're cutting out a lot.
I mic check. Okay, I see. I out to. I see. Well, I'm at maximum. Back.
Maybe it's a
Me
connection
it
issue.
off. Only every few words. It's not the
Yeah.
volume.
Try leaving the stage and then coming back.
I will try. Sorry about that. Just started to future. I joke. Okay, I will come back. Okay.
Okay. Also try turning off noise cancellation. Yeah, that's good advice too. And maybe try switching mics back and forth. I could suggest that. But yes. I am glad we are discussing this topic today. And there's a lot of other topics as well. And I have a pretty good plan for this call. Yeah.
In the thread, someone mentioned because we already have the 14K in our treasury, maybe making that a top up rather than a full 100K on top of that. And I think that is also a good idea.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I'm not
totally.
quite sure what you mean by top up.
Just instead of funding a full 100K, adding the amount necessary to bring it up to a total of 100K. So I think that's like 76,000
Okay.
or 86. Morning math.
I wonder if we did a game jam, I wonder if we would do it like as a community to take part in like the general East Denver game jam, or if we would have like multiple different games or something. I just wonder how that would work. We've done that already at East Denver. Oh yeah. Okay. Oh, it sounds like there must have been technical difficulties. Nadil says, I would like to know whether the DAO would be interested in funding a project that revives fake gotchis and helps promote Aavegotchi. I already have some progress made and I would like to share it and discuss it maybe next week. Oh, that's a great idea, Nadil. You should start a thread about that if you haven't planned one. Yeah. Because, yeah, fake gotchis is a big part of Aavegotchi that we haven't really touched on in a while. Oh, Nestor's back.
1, 2, 2. Check, check, check. I think I found the problem. How is it now?
You're
How
still
is it now?
you're still cutting a little bit.
Still
I think a little bit less.
less. See.
Yeah. How's your internet connection?
Well, I thought it was the Xbox. It made sure that it's offline. Nothing better.
Okay, maybe if you talk slow, we
What
can
better?
get you. We can hear you
Let's
better.
see. Slower. Is it? I just wanted to say regarding earlier, if she had a recommendation about where to collect data, all teams, all projects.
Okay. You wanted to know if
Like there,
Musashi had a recommendation about where to what? Sorry.
which DAO software or
About
like
DAO
there was
software?
our house software. Collect all the information, publish dates where we publish as our public face.
I think it'd be best for you to type your question in the chat because I'm not
Yeah.
catching enough of it to answer. Sorry.
Sorry. Okay, I will do that.
Okay, cool. We have some mentions about Aavegotchi in the chat. Love to see it.
The year we did our gaming tournament at ETH Denver, Aavegotchi was a big hit. That year we had quite a few games out to really play with and had a lot of really fun engagement, especially seeing the kids playing with their parents. That was one of the probably most impactful things that I've ever experienced at our events. To see the new generation of gamers just like loving playing with Aavegotchis and even enjoying hearing about a DAO and what that is and how much interactions that they can have with all of that.
Yeah, how long ago was that?
I believe that was 3 years ago.
Yeah, that's a while. I think
And
things have changed since then. I
yeah,
think we're
we
due for
just
another.
earmarked some.
Okay, so
Yeah,
Nestor
yeah,
has his
definitely.
question about, he said it was about DAO software and a system or software where we would collect all our documentation. Um, he said that you, Musashi, posted once a link to a site with a lot of resources, but there's certainly something new.
Um, I can't remember what that was. It was probably something like Charmverse, um, something that we can use as a collaborative thing. Um, I can't quite remember.
Yeah, I feel like his question is about tracking the progress that the Gotchi Greetors are making, so that it would be easy for us to see. Nestor
Yeah,
says, "Perfect. Could you type it out?"
sure. Yeah, I think that would be really good to have not only a place to document, um, to place all of our contacts into one central location for everyone to work with, and to have some good transparent follow-up. They have some great tooling and tables for doing follow-up work and things like that.
Yeah, and he clarified not only the greeters but all our projects as well. That could be really useful.
Sure,
Yeah.
for sure. D-work is also a good one,
Mhm.
but I think you can actually interlink D-work with Charmverse as well. So D-work is more of task oriented, whereas Charmverse is kind of a combination of like a Notion and a D-Work all in one. We can also hook up Web3 Rails with that and have integration with Discord roles. So we could have a role for, the different access to the different documents so that, it's not totally open to the public. So we don't have to worry about things just getting deleted for no reason and things like that. We can also add in, fun reward systems. They have point systems. You can have token systems linked to it, and even NFT badges and things like that. So let me get that link for you, Nestor.
Yeah, awesome. And it looks like No Future has some critique about some of the greeters' experience, mainly that Pixelcraft should be more present at a lot of the in-person events. That's a good point too. Okay, there's the link from Musashi. Awesome. Hope you guys can look into it. Any final notes on this topic before we move on?
No, just happy to see people sharing in the thread their idea, their critique, because it's always positive to critique also. So yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
Happy to discuss.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys so much. This was really insightful.
Thanks.
Yeah. So anyways, let's move on to the next topic. We're going to talk about updating the kinship mechanic. This thread wasn't so active this past week, but I think many of us might like to see kinship redone and the alchemica tokens be used for something new in the ecosystem. I know that it was requested last week, specifically by Crazy Crypto, that PC make a post-mortem from other events before discussing this topic, but the reasoning behind that didn't seem very solid in my opinion. I don't have an opinion about the post-mortem thing, but I'm still going to be talking about the topics regarding the mechanics and features in Aavegotchi anyway. With that said, here are some ideas discussed recently in the thread about kinship. The reason Phantasma created this thread is, and I quote, "It would be nice to somehow make petting something that brings revenue to the DAO instead of it being an on-chain transaction costing everyone gas without a clear benefit as things stand right now." An idea he suggested in his opening is that instead of getting a guaranteed amount from petting, you could get a lottery entry for monthly rewards of kinship potions. I can see how this could mix it up and make it more variable, giving some petters a chance to catch up to others. Another idea he had was that building or upgrading installations could raise the kinship. Ghosty Fever suggested making the petting a weekly thing instead of daily, which I like a lot personally, and also came up with a gameplay loop that might look like this. Quote, "Pay into a pool to pet and boost kinship, use kinship in games, get rewards from the pet pool." Crypto Green suggested converting kinship into XP and discarding the petting mechanic altogether, but that opinion wasn't very popular. Supreme Pablo posed the question, can't the DAO set up a revenue generating petting service? I personally would support something like that since I haven't seen a community active petting service be relevant in a while. Nestor added to that idea, suggesting that it could be linked with staking. He gave the example, quote, "Petting services stay non-centralized while being provided an incentivized option of accepting Ghost and or Alchemica or staked forms thereof and sharing proceeds with the DAO." I wanted to ask Nestor a little bit more about what he said there, but it would be difficult considering how His mic isn't working right now that well. Let's see. Schnitzel Death says weekly petting and back to manual only is a nice idea. Yeah, I'm not sure how we would make sure that it's manual only, since the petting services go directly towards like the mechanic that we have in place for petting altogether. Let's see. We're just feeding validators, we should make petting off chain. Huh. That's interesting. Yeah, it would be like I feel like, yeah, the only solution to stop the auto petting would be to take it off chain, and then it would bring like the fun back into petting, maybe. We definitely need to add on to it though to make it more interesting. Like, what else can we get out of the petting besides just a kinship score? And then what could that kinship score do? Okay, rarity farming will be over. That is that's a point that definitely should be considered. Yeah, needs a new purpose for sure. We could link it back into something we already have. I do like the staking idea. We could tie it in to there somehow. Yeah, there's no value without rarity farming. Before we could spend kinship on channeling. I'm not sure if we will be able to in the new Gotchiverse. I don't know how that would look like. With Tamagotchi, the incentive was your pet would die. Yeah. Well, Aavegotchis won't die unless they're sacrificed. They're already dead. They're ghosts. Okay, the thought was to use kinship as an internal currency for value loop with devs, gamers, and the DAO. That's interesting. You need staked coins, whichever, and the weekly petting is claiming the rewards, which you can only claim this week. That's a good idea, Schnitzel's Death. Once a day petting, and if you want more kinship, you have to cook food and feed your gotchi. Then channeling could happen without completely nerfing your kinship. Yeah. Yeah, foreign. Gamers get credits, devs get some infrastructure advantages, the DAO gets a cut. I love the way everyone's building off of each other right now. This is great.
That's the way, I think. That's the biggest value.
Yeah. A burn mechanic would be
think that's the
brutal.
major.
Yeah. I will feed only schnitzel to my gotchi. There was an idea Goobs had about turning alchemica into food for your gotchis. I thought that was interesting. Oh, Musashi mentioned Ma tokens. Been a while since we've seen those. Need to make a new use case, but not changing the action of daily petting. Yeah, we could do daily. I also like the idea of like a weekly thing, but you know, just because I'm lazy, I don't want to do it twice a day. Funny. Would love to keep and revive alchemica. True, yeah. Yeah, right now we have a lot of currencies and things that aren't really being used for much. And we just need to turn them into a loop somehow. Keep the ideas coming, y'all. But yeah, overall we've established that this is an important discussion to have, so I guess pick your favorite solutions. Let's pool our knowledge and see if we can vote on something. I know we can do it. So yeah, next I wanted to discuss the market maker proposal, because Nestor gave updates on his negotiation and communication with SkyNet regarding this topic consistently during this week. And I wanted to hear those updates live. If it doesn't work out, I can maybe go to the forum and summarize it. But did you want to try or type something, Nestor? Kinship and DeFi dungeons. Oh yeah, that's true. You did have the idea, Coder Dan, about also staking in DeFi dungeons, didn't you? Staking for rewards in DeFi. You already added staking USDC and yeah, and Ghost is coming soon. For sure. Yeah. So let's see. Give me a second. Okay, so 2 out of the 5 Cayman law firms responded and expressed intent for cooperation and some preliminary inquiries to omit conflicts on their part. One firm outright offering an AML manual for establishing compliancy with all regulatory standards and best practices. Also established Nestor also established a contact with a Singapore-based lawyer to assess suitability of their regulatory framework for the Aavegotchi DAO's foundation well-being. Opening of business accounts at Kexes are pending. A third Cayman law firm has responded on the 21st. And it looks like Nestor was going to post that update in T.E.R.R.A. Okay. Let's see.
Here, posted it in the chat, and I have posted market maker proposal.
Oh, there you go.
Short summary.
Yeah.
Verification process is almost done.
Yeah. Okay.
AYB has, and that would make it possible for us having full control funds all the time. And I of the Egypt, but proceed as fast market maker would want, of course, something,
Yeah.
start working with ocean of by owning. Well, I sum it up what I have talked about from walkers on the islands is this. Our foundation is acting us very well.
Okay. So you're still cutting out really heavily. FaZe says it's definitely noise cancellation. It's crazy that you can
I check the
tell FaZe.
experience.
Try switching it off. Where would that be? Would that be in the Discord settings or in separate mic settings? I feel like, well, oh, there it is, the audio settings on Discord. Okay, so while Nestor's doing
Off
that,
now.
it's off now?
Off. Cancel it on. Ah,
What kind of mic are you using, Nestor?
not the best gaming of my son, but I have already ordered a new one.
Oh, okay.
Next time.
So how about I summarize what you, how about I read what you posted in the chat just so we can have it as audio. The summary is there are two ways to work with SkyNet. One, loan them the funds, not ideal because of our custody. Two, make business or institutional accounts at the KEXs for spot trading and derivatives trading on Binance. For this, it is necessary to complete KYB. Do you mean KYC? It's almost finished with one KEX, and with Binance, KYB needs. This way, we could provide only the APIs, and SkyNet will give the IPs, and then that way we'll retain full custody and control. Sorry if I butchered that. Any of that that reading. Okay, it is KYB, not KYC. Okay, yeah. Know your business. Okay. Some of these acronyms get really confusing sometimes. But yeah, that makes total sense.
No problem.
It's KYC for business entities. Yeah. So Nestor, do you need opinions from the community on these choices? Yeah. Okay. He would love your opinions. So awesome. And I'm trying to find. Okay. So the summarization of the phone calls. I know we're kind of switching back and forth the topics, but we can maybe go to T.E.R.R.A now. Before that, I'll paste the SkyNet specific forum here in the chat so you guys can be directed there in the market maker proposal. The next topic is in T.E.R.R.A about the Cayman law firms that he contacted. Let's see. Here's the summary. The introductory call with a partner from Walker's was, let's see. with a Walker Senior Regulatory Specialist. In his space, he and his team are the ones who co-write the regulations. Regulations are practically defined as something that enables rapid adaptation to complex realities. If law is code, then regulations are dynamic code. It's seen as very good business practice on the Caymans to have an AML policy, and any partner in a business engagement could require one from his business partner. Unless the foundation, our Aavegotchi DAO Foundation, necessarily need an AML policy. Sounds like that is posed as more question. Yeah, a lot of businesses will require AML proof. What exactly is an AML policy? I don't know. I'm not very well versed in the business world.
Anti-money laundering.
Oh, anti-money laundering. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. But yeah, unless we don't need one unless engaging in regulated activities. The foundation we have is a very good wrapper all around. Walker's AMS policy as well. As mentioned, they co-wrote at least some of the rules and the policy rules to comply with those rules. Okay. And there is a screenshot of an email from Ian Mason, a partner at Walker's. It says, we would be able to prepare an AML policy for the foundation for a fixed fee of $6,000. This is on the assumption that the foundation is not currently undertaking any regulated activities. Please could you confirm that this is approved, and we will prepare a draft policy for your review. We also discussed some broader questions of corporate governance around the DAO and structures and possible future activities of the foundation, and I can arrange for you to discuss that with one of my colleagues in our corporate team if that would be helpful. Okay. So, I don't know if the DAO would be interested in having them make the AML policy for the foundation, but we can certainly maybe put that to a vote. But yeah. That's a quote from the most prestigious law firm. There might be more economic solutions out there. Okay, so research would also be helpful, I suppose. No Futuristic asked any idea if the PTD will result in a tax liability for the foundation. Staking the ETH and then unstaking could trigger a taxable event. Also selling it as a profit. Okay, yeah. That is a question that we could ask them, that we can formulate. Okay, Nestor is going to ask the question. We could have a tax liability greater than the remaining treasury. Oh, that would be certainly a problem, wouldn't it? But yeah, if you guys have any more questions for Nestor, you could go either to let's see, here's the T.E.R.R.A thread, or you guys can keep typing in the chat right now as well. And I'm sure that your questions will be answered. So we can move on to maybe our next topic. Life after distribution was also an active forum thread this week. This past week, Totogotchi mentioned staking again, inspired by coder Dan's staking in DeFi Dungeons and potentially other games in the ecosystem. Additional perks for stakers could be reduced bazaar fees, picking up larger alchemica pieces in the Gotchiverse, and raffle eligibility. That's a nice shiny new idea. Totogotchi said, quote, most games feel isolated or abandoned in their own little place. I think Gotchi Guardians would benefit from this as well. The game nights have only managed to attract the same 5 people every week, creating one unified source of rewards and a nice leaderboard right on the DApp would boost engagement, in my opinion. I think a lot of us could agree with that. But yeah, if you wanted to check out the Life After Distribution thread, that is a bunch of general ideas for what our next steps could be for innovation for Aavegotchi, like mechanics and keeping people's attention and generating revenue and stuff like that. I think those are all the topics I wanted to touch on exactly today. There's also the recent threads, a couple recent threads. The post-partial treasury distribution was active as well after some outrage and drama, which you could read about in that thread. Some people have begun to discuss how to distribute more fairly next time, if there would be a next time. I'm not sure there's much to discuss though, so freshly after the first one, especially since our legal discussion here is still in need of being figured out in regards to that. Also, listing Ghosts on Orbit was discussed last week with Zonzi. There might not be. I know Zonzi's sick right now, so I don't think if there was an update, he would be able to give any at this moment. But maybe soon there will be updates on that research. Let's see. Crazy Crypto has requested to speak. Welcome.
Hey everyone, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Does it work? Okay, cool. Yeah, I just wanted to ask Nestor, because we were also talking shortly in a DM about it, if it would make sense that he could lead a group which is then creating the further SIG prop, because Koda then also mentioned it must be more detailed, it must be very technically, it must be possible to implement this, so for a further distribution round. So I just want to be a bit concrete and leave this call to understand how could be the next steps that we are coming forwarding to a target that people which have not got anything from the treasury distribution feel not so unhappy. So it's an open question for Nestor and everyone else who could or who's open to jump in a group to create this, that it's very detailed and that it makes sense and that everyone feels also happy going forward.
I'm not sure that Nestor would be able to answer, but he certainly could if he, yeah.
If you hear me, if I think it's a very good idea, formulated this formal way, because in the Discord you often have like it emotional question, especially certain terms that some they like with a metaphor, and we certainly terms that we understand each other. What is the want one party, because as I understood until now, there is was expressed the wish of a statement.
Sorry, Nestor, it's really hard to understand
okay.
because also if someone would listen to the recording, it's I don't know what's up with your microphone, but could you maybe jump in with your handy? So just with your iPhone or Samsung or just I don't know if you're on the laptop, but that it's clear, you know, because then we can talk clear about this important topic. Otherwise, it's very hard to understand what you mean because I want to understand it.
Yeah, maybe we could maybe Nestor could go to the yeah, he's probably gonna have to type yeah, it should be put down in writing. That's what he just said. I'm not sure cuz yeah, I mean, it's a good idea to maybe come up with some ideas regarding the next steps about the distribution to try to accommodate others, but we just have to decide whether that's a good idea, like in general, yet.
The
So maybe
question is only how to go forward and which group
yeah,
could create it, because there are two positions, I would say, in the DAO. This ones who already received something and were for their position very active, and the others which supported the project in the early days and were not active in some weeks or months because they had some other things to do or just missed information, and they want to build trust back. And the question is, in the end, you can only submit a SIG prop if some parameters are solved. So the first thing is which wallet, and at the moment there's running a SIG prop to combine them. So I don't know if it makes sense now to submit a SIG prop without knowing the final wallet. So if you just write all the wallets which are still available, or if it will be combined and this SIG prop and HIP will be succeeding, then we are just taking it from the new one. We could do it if it's possible. But then the second thing is also who's writing it, that everyone is understanding it makes sense. And also with the comments of Kodaden, who said, yeah, a further distribution would be possible. And also to exclude wallet, which already got something, which would be fair, I think, for a lot of people. And then also the last part is, okay, the technical implementation. When it comes also who's doing it, should it be the same people which implemented then for the claiming process of the 1,111 ETH? But now we need a group or like people which are doing it, that not it's always mentioned, please submit the SIG prop, please submit the SIG prop. It's so significant, and everyone should understand that we should not have a discussion in this little post-partial treasury distribution thread, only to answer always, if you want something from the DAO, submit a SIG prop. If you want something, do it. Because this topic is so important that it makes more sense, like in the politics, to have a working group to define that everyone is involved. And it could be someone like Nestor as a director from the DAO. It could be someone from the tech team. It could be someone from Pixelcraft. It could be me. It could be Igor. So big holders which were not participate. It could be everyone. Everyone could raise their hands, and also afterwards to define it, and then it's submitted with a lot of voices to build back the trust, because it's not here only about the distribution, further distribution. It's just also that the project in the next weeks is talking more about the future, about improvements, kinship, really deep discussions about techniques, other forms of rarity farming, or how more incentives can be built. That if this project should be should have a future, that we're coming more to topic discussions in the sessions. And I think everyone agrees that this is needed. But yeah, this is just an open idea to have this working group, then a SIG prop, and then to submit it, because I think I have not even rights to submit a SIG prop, right, on Snapshot Box, on others also not. So this was why the question was raised.
You can get there are ways for you to write the SIG prop. I wanted to ask you, what do you envision for this SIG prop exactly, if we're going to talk about this right now? Like, what exactly, how do you know which wallets would need would have missed out, and what would be fair to you? How do you envision another distribution to even happen?
You asked me if I find
Yeah, you said that
better
you
model
could write
now.
a SIG prop about it. What would it look like?
I mean, seriously, could I then also already answered in the last stage comments about that it's in general possible, and this is why I just want to have more voices here, because otherwise it seems only to be okay. This is my only crazy crypto or Dennis in as a real name position, but I see that there are a lot of more people, big holders, small holders, which come in, and this makes more sense to have maybe this working group to define it, and before everyone is submitting something, and then that this SIG prop, for example, could be submitted by Nestor or even by myself or someone who is known, that there's also like maybe this post-mortem then in this SIG prop, that we're really having late, at least there some explanation why the SIG prop is on the way. And everyone who's not listening to these talks, to these YouTube videos, because I know a lot of people are not following this, doesn't understand this, are reading in the snapshot box voting about this, and then I think it could go forward, because this must be solved. You see, during the week I'm also very busy. I think a lot of people have jobs and kids and something to do, so I try to at least now to jump in here frequently now every week. But I see that more and more people joining Discord and are discussing and are very frustrated. And I think not that it will be less the next months when people are looking into their projects, and even when the bull market comes back, they will be frustrated. And it's just to channel this frustration into something productive. And this is just an offer that more people must be in these working groups from all these different participants to look forward and then to come to a conclusion that this energy is going forward to a better project and a better future. And otherwise, I think a lot of people more and more are creating in the back their working groups to discuss law cases, discuss blah, blah, blah. But in the end, yeah, a lot can be discussed, but it needs to be solved, right? Because in the end, everyone loses. So if Ghost token goes to zero, and we have all assets, we have all trust. I know a lot of people working for Pixelcraft since 5 years, invested a lot of money, time. So I mean, they also don't want to go this to zero, and it's just like an open approach. But yeah, I just said, yeah, to clarify, Nestor and me just talked about to define a call, and we don't talk secretly about conquering the world. We just talked about having a call, and because I wanted normally to tell him during this week, and now I tell it here publicly because we had no time to talk.
Okay, well, I don't think that my question was answered, but you think that that it is fair to say that a lot of people feel scammed and cheated, which is valid, definitely. But I don't know if someone I don't know if everyone coming together will spark like suddenly the best idea to fix everything at this moment, you know? But, it could happen. I wish you guys the best. Um, I don't know.
I think Nestor and you will just have a call maybe next week. I was just saying this publicly that everyone knows it. Also, people which got something, people here in the audience which have not got something, because everyone wants to look forward. And I just want to make this public statement. And so I'm open, I'm reachable. I'm also open to talk to important people. I just saw that, for example, this for dev. Sorry, when I said he's not existing, or he's maybe just a Discord name, but I never met him, I never heard him. But it feels like that it's very ironic, and he's just saying that, yeah, everyone now should get another distribution and not the people which have not. So it doesn't make sense to have the same working group which created this proposal involved only, so that it must be more people, it must be people which have also an interest that the people, that is fair, that we're talking about a fair distribution, and not that the people which already got a lot are here the happy ones. And I think also the people which are listening here, which got something, are very happy about this, what they got, and maybe they're supporting with buying the Ghost token and supporting this and getting a better voting power. But also going forward, it doesn't make sense when the Ghost token is to 1 cent, and during the next months more and more people and frustrated people joining, because 9,000 people are having the Ghost token. I think so much people are having assets, and week by week, month by month, more people come and understand the situation. So we need something going forward that you can look into the future of this project, because I don't want to see this project go to zero or not survive 2026. So much projects I invested as an investor or built as an entrepreneur. I saw that mostly it's it's only going bankruptcy. It's only going to the desert when people are not talking and don't have a good solution. So that's why I suggest a working group and not a forum where the people which got something always repeat their position and the others repeat the other position. This feels like war, and this doesn't lead to anything. So we need like a mediator level, a working group above this, and then submit a SIG prop with the voice of everyone. And this is the only thing, because otherwise I don't know how to fix this.
Okay, well, yeah, I mean, you are free to make a SIG prop if you'd like to. Otherwise, I think the only thing that'll fix this is moving on. We can't change what's done. What's done is done. And I don't think, especially right now, it's a good idea to start another distribution. So let's just focus on innovating the project. I think otherwise this call was very productive. And yeah, thank you all for being here and discussing. Everyone has been having a lot of really good ideas. And with that said, I think that this should be wrapped up at the moment, unless anyone has final notes. Oh, you killed it today. Thank you. Thank you, Joyna.
Very,
Yeah.
very much. Next week, new mic.
Yeah, okay. That's good. I feel like your mic has worked in the past. I don't know what's wrong with it today. Maybe it'll change. Maybe
Yes, it
it could.
did. So we'll check that.
Yeah, it could be a multitude of different problems, but yeah, troubleshooting is good. Trying other things is good. So yeah, I hope.
Last question, I asked in the DAO agendas, who is responsible for this report, so treasury reports, because a lot of months are missing?
Okay, if you have questions, I'm sure if you go to the let's see what the thread, the post partial treasury distribution thread. Any final questions and notes can go there. I think that this call is done. And I hope everyone has a good weekend. Peace.
Okay, bye. Peace out.
Bye bye.
Thank you.